Well, good afternoon, everyone, for coming, and thank you, Red Dot, for inviting us here. So I guess I would like to start with the very first slide, just to say that this is not an improvised group, but a group that has been here since 2003. Our founders were part of the discovery, construction, and production of the Canadian Malartic mine, which today is probably the largest Canadian gold producer. Now, under the operation of two excellent companies, Agnico and Yamana. And that is actually the first picture that you guys can see here, Canadian Malartic. As part of the rebuild of Osisko Mining, John, one of the founders of the first Osisko, and myself staked some ground in the Urban Berry, and we bought subsequently a bunch of companies, including one called Eagle Hill, which no one cared, no one paid attention, and today we have over 3 million ounces. The company went from being an $8 million company to today a $1 billion company. As part of that construct, we bought different assets, and today they were not getting any value, and we had over 4 million ounces of gold, good ounces, in fact. And that essentially provoked the creation of O3 Mining, which I'm going to present today, and I'm in charge of the leadership of that company. So we're going back to where our founders started in Valor. It's interesting because when there, no one believed that they could build a mine, no one believed that they could put it in production, and a couple of years after, the company was bought for $4.3 billion. So we are in a great jurisdiction, and today, and I am, as you can tell by my accent, I'm not Canadian, or I guess I am Canadian now, but I was born in Peru and I was raised in Peru. So being in a place where you can work, where the regulation is not changed, where the taxes are the same, where you know what the royalties are going to be, where you can have your permits within a week, where you can drill without issues, where you talk to different communities and they understand mining, is a real privilege. And working in Quebec in particular, where we have the ability of raising flow-through shares as a charity flow-through at 80% premium, is an even better privilege because we don't have to dilute our shareholders as we add value through exploration. We certainly believe in the idea of creating value through the drill bit. One of our founders, Sean Rusin, tends to say that at the Osisko family, we go by the rule of stats, which means shut up and drill. He finished with another S, but I'm not going to say it because I'm younger and I cannot say those things. So anyways, we're in a great jurisdiction. We're certainly focused on the drill bit. We're going to be doing 50,000 meters of drilling, which makes us very happy because we're going to be proving a couple of discoveries that were made by the companies that we bought. And we're going to prove that we're right in what we're intending to do. We have a strong balance sheet. Today we have $32 million in cash. 10 million of those are in flow-through. We have a good technical team. We are backed by the engineers and geologists that started Osisko Mining. So they are in Montreal and they are giving us their support. And they are, in many cases, boots in the ground with us. And certainly we have a great upside in terms of growing the resource that we already have. So we're not starting from zero. We're actually starting with a value proposition of a company that already has 5 million ounces in the books that can grow and that we can have as well discoveries. Like we have a market cap of $100 million and $30 million in cash. To make the point here even better, from the 3 companies that we have bought in the last 4 months, those companies have already invested over $70 million. So the amount of information that we have right now with us that we're going to put our power to work with to find more stuff and to have bigger discoveries and bigger resources, it's quite big, I would say. Another important thing to mention, we have the pride to say that management, in particular our family office, my parents and I, we have almost 4% of the company. So whenever we lose money, we feel it as much as any of the shareholders. We are certainly intimate related with the company, and we put our own money every time we do a deal. And we did it with Osisco as well. We participated with 10% in every single financing we did. Our strategy is very simple. We are focused in Val-d'Or. We also have another asset in Ontario, which today is not core, but we have 2 million ounces, and we'll be looking for alternatives to divest that asset. But our focus will be certainly in Val-d'Or, an area where we already have 3.1 million ounces and over 1 million ounce of high grade, which is going to be most of our focus. We are in a great jurisdiction. By any standards and any SGS paper, Val-d'Or is probably top 5 in terms of jurisdiction, top 5 in terms of potential for gold mineralization. 30 million ounces have been produced from Val-d'Or, and if we took the whole Cadillac break, over 100 million ounces have been produced from that ground. So we're talking about a very organic ground, a ground that has a lot of potentiality and a lot of hydrothermal fluids and a very big seated structures in the Cadillac break. We have 4 world-class deposits, including Dion, LaRonde, Canadian Malartic, and Sigma. Very interesting. From Sigma, there was already over 9 million ounces being produced when, at the time, Integ had found more ounces and then was subsequently bought by Eldorado. In the case of Canadian Malartic, more than 2 million ounces were already produced in that camp when the Osisco team came in and rediscovered Canadian Malartic and focused on the porphyry. And then today is one of the largest open pits. And of course, in the case of LaRonde, the mine keeps going down at depth, and same as Douillon. So there has been very little exploration being done in Val-d'Or from 300 meters below, which gives us a great opportunity to find more ore at depth. But the most important thing is that we're starting one step ahead, where we already have resources in the case of Orinada, Acasaba, Sleepy, which is a joint venture with Probe, and in East Cadillac. And I'll elaborate a little bit more in that, and also in why we believe we have a great opportunity here to find more mineralization, to find and extend the amount of resources there, to finally become an intermediate producer, because we want to be a mining company. And if we think about this in a very large schematic section, we have a bend in here where 2 of the major world-class deposits were found, and we have the same bend in this area. And we have the same sediments in here as we have in here, and we have intrusion in here, and we have an intrusion in here. There is no reason why the eastern side of Val-d'Or does not have the potential to find world-class deposits. In fact, we believe that most of that has been only because there were rocks that were outcropping towards the western side rather than the eastern side. But don't worry, we'll be able to prove that. Just give us a couple months and we'll be able to prove it with the initial campaign of 50,000 meters. As part of this, just before we bought this company in December of 2018, the Alexandria team, I'm not going to take the credits, discovered a very nice zone here called Centermac and Bulldog, which is just 1.5 kilometers from Sigma. And this is Bulldog. Bulldog, the 12 holes, all of them hit mineralization, and some of the better intercepts are here. 4.5 meters of 10 grams, 4 meters of 3.18, 5 meters of 7, 6 meters of 3, 8 meters of 5, 9 meters of 4. On a metal factor basis, all of them are more than 15 grams per ton times liter, which means that all of these zones, if they happen to be in a structure which we don't know yet, are going to be mineable from an underground perspective. Also to be mentioned that the grades that we see here are not bad at all, because they are only at 120 meters from surface, and the only hole that was drilled at 30 meters from surface is this one on the top. Of course, as it happens with a lot of the junior space, there was no money for them to continue drilling, and we were lucky enough to have now Cherry to be picked. So what we will do is something very simple. We'll just come here and we're going to drill every 60 meters going to the east, and we're going to drill every 60 meters going at depth. It was drilled only up to 200 meters, we'll probably drill up to 500 meters, and within this area we potentially have the hopefully to have around 1.5 kilometers by 500 meters and 3 meters of width. So we have a great opportunity here to find a resource in a small period of time. And this is just besides the Orenada that already has 400,000 ounces of gold. If we move to the east, you remember this area here in the center part called Acazaba. To the west, there is this little property held right now by Agnico Eagle. Acazaba already had, when we bought this, around 400,000 ounces of class 5 grams. Don't ask me why they did not continue drilling, but there was no drilling done on the eastern side. This is open, no drilling in here. All this runs more than 5 gram meter. No drill, one single drill here, one in here that actually run with 1.5 grams. So this is just to explain that in the first 2 months of just looking into the information, we have found 2 areas where we can go and drill and expand our resources. And we have not even gone at depth to review all what they had in their information. It was over $20 million being invested in that company. So we have a great opportunity here to reveal the potential of the eastern side of Val-d'Or. In a very short period of time, we intend to explore, as I mentioned, Bulldog and Acazaba, and also Marban. We have actually right now, as we speak, 1.6 million ounces or 1.2 grams at Marban. Of course, right now the theme is the high grade, so you would tell me, well, that's not high grade. Well, it is high grade for the area where we are. Canadian Malartic is actually right now mining less than a gram. So if they want to have to high grade, they are going to have to tap into Marban, and this is just 5 kilometers from the Canadian Malartic mine. So I don't mind if someone tells me it's going to be this year in 2 years, but the longer it takes to buy this, the more expensive it will be, because this will be processed one day or another at Canadian Malartic mine. Meanwhile, what we will do is to expose the high grade of Marban. And if you see the structure in here, the same structure is the structure that goes to Kina. The guys from Wesdom have done a great job on publicizing their resource, and they have over 12 grams and 750,000 ounces. And what we will do is to start testing those structures that goes north-south and prove that Marban also has a high-grade component in this deposit that has been well done. What we have done. In February of this year, we announced the deal at $3.88. We raised $18.6 million. Subsequently to that, we bought Chalice, where we have 35,000 hectares in one of the most prolific grounds in Val-d'Or. Subsequently to that, we bought Alexandria Minerals and Harricana. In fact, Harricana is a private company with 150,000 ounces, and it's right here, and 12 grams. There is a 43-101 and everything. And before we start drilling, we decided to drill with charity flow-through, so we raised $10 million recently. We just closed the deal today at $4.20, so we have been raising money every time at a higher price, which is what we're supposed to be doing. We have, as we speak right now, 3 drills on site. In fact, 2, because now the hunting season started, so we have to stop and we will restart as when that finished. And we will be able to explore Bulldog, Central Mag, which is the same area, Acazaba and Marban, with that amount of money. We intend to increase our resource. We intend to have more discoveries. We are well funded. We don't foresee any calls for capital in the short period of time. And we intend to grow this company organically. The Osisko Group in general has been doing this repeatedly. They bought Canadian Malartic when it was in bankruptcy and no one cared about it. And Canadian Malartic is today what Canadian Malartic is. We bought Eagle Hill, and I was lucky to be involved there when no one cared about it. And then until a couple of years, they were saying that it was not continuous. And we have proven after 1 million meters that it is continuous and it will be a mine. And I tell you this, we're going back to where we started in Val-d'Or, and we will do it again. So welcome to O3 Mining, and thank you for your time. I don't know if we have time for questions. Thanks.